As we all know, every great Sonic game eventually comes to an end. And sometimes, regardless of the game's quality, the endings are really sweet and satisfying. Which is a good thing, because an ending to a video game is supposed to conclude everything, tie up every loose end, and reward the player for all of their hard work. Something I was thinking about the other day was the fact that Sonic has had quite a few remarkable endings to his games. Even some games that I don't like have really good endings to them. It honestly gives me nostalgia for games that I think are total garbage and I would never play. So that brings us to today's video, where I thought it'd be fun if we went through some of the best conclusions that Sonic games have ever had and definitively determined what was the best ending to a Sonic game ever. And with that said, make sure to dogpile the subscribe button and hit the bell. Anyways, enough chitter chatter, let's get into it. Today we have a very well-known sponsor, and you've guessed it, it's Raid Shadow Legends. The game that doesn't even need an introduction because it's already one of the biggest games out there. Raid Shadow Legends has a lot to offer, more than 700 unique champions, which can be used for different strategies and teams to complete the most difficult challenges such as dungeons, bosses, or PvP arena. The updates are happening every month and new champions, levels, or events are waiting for you to explore. The game is also loved by millions of people around the world due to its high quality graphics, which can guarantee you a PC experience even on your phone. Also, do you want a free legendary champion by any chance? Silly question, of course you do, especially when they are just as cool as this. Introducing Sun Wukong. Raids take on the mischievous Monkey King, coming as a free legendary champion. All you have to do is log into Raid on 7 different days between August 22nd and October 23rd to get your hands on this awesome champion. No heroic journey in the West is required, just log in. That's it. With all of this exciting stuff and more coming to Raid, if you haven't started playing yet, then what are you waiting for? New players, use my link or scan the QR code right here to obtain a free starter pack, which comes with this cool in-game loot. The starter pack includes Knight Errant, 200,000 silver, 4 energy refills, 1 epic skill tome, and a 1-day XP booster, totaling in over $30 worth of free items. Just hit my link in the description and complete the tutorial, and I'll see you guys on the battlefield. Each accomplished tutorial helps me boost the content quality for you guys to enjoy it even more. Thank you for sponsoring today's video, Raid Shadow Legends. You know, I thought I'd make it interesting for this video, so I've decided to structure it as a top 5. That way we can properly determine which are the best and most memorable endings. However, since we have a lot of Sonic games in this franchise, I feel like we should do an honorable mentions. Starting off, we got the first Sonic adventure. Now look, I love this game and I do like the ending, but the more you think about it, the more stupid it gets. The ending feels nice to watch, but as soon as you start thinking about what actually just happened, that's when it all falls apart. Like, sure, Sonic was able to defeat Perfect Chaos and create peace, but the city is completely destroyed and I'm pretty sure nobody survived this attack. Look at all the water. Nobody is able to just outrun the water and get out of the city. They're all just dead, alright? There's no escaping that. The worst part is that Tails actually had the balls to say this.
All's well that ends well, right?
Yeah, Tails, thanks. There were probably millions of people, including children, living in this city that are now dead. If this was real, this would go down in history as a catastrophic event. It would be in all of the history books because that is like millions of people dying. But, hey, I mean, at least Tails is okay, am I right? For that one reason alone, I can't logically place it in the top 5. Alright, another ending I wanted to mention is the ending to Sonic and the Secret Rings. This is a great ending, absolutely fantastic, and it's definitely top 5 material. However, the ending was ruined by one single thing. At the last moments of this ending cutscene, Sonic wishes for a mountain of handkerchiefs, and that is really dumb. I get that it's a part of the story and it's a nod to prior events, but it's just so cheesy and it ruined the scene for me. He wished for napkins. Am I the only one that finds this stupid? I'm sorry, but it just doesn't crack the list. Every time I see this cutscene, I just burst out laughing because it is extremely stupid. But we do have to give it some credit. The cutscene was like a 10 out of 10 until that last moment, so you know, it's an honorable mention, alright? It's got a participation trophy. Anyways, that is it for the honorable mentions. Let's get to the real stuff. At our number 5 spot, we have the ending to Sonic CD. It's not the most amazing ending in the world. It's not gonna make you cry. It's not gonna make you stand up and start doing the yoinky sploinky. But, you know, it's kind of a banger. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It's very well animated, and Sonic is looking super cool in this cutscene. And also, the music is, hold on, a bop. Overall, though, there's not much else to say about this ending. It's just cool, and it has a charming vibe to it. A vibe that makes you feel warm inside for beating the game, and you know, that's all you really need from a Sonic ending. It's charming. At least it's not cringy. Okay, for number 4, we have Sonic in the Black Knight. You know, there's a lot to say about this ending because I'm not a big fan of Sonic in the Black Knight. I think it's kind of a dog water video game. But, you know, the ending was so good that it kind of wraps everything together and makes me kind of like Black Knight, but also hate it. The music absolutely slaps, the visuals are great, and Dark Age Sonic was certainly the peak of Sonic's characterization, and this cutscene displays why that's the case perfectly. This final cutscene is fantastic. Even the after credits scene is awesome. It reveals that Sonic was on a date with Amy during the events of this story until he just eventually wound up in Black Knight. It's a bit of a cool comedic note to end off on, especially after the previous cutscene hit us hard in the feels. I also don't know if this is a hot take or not, but I do enjoy the page animation cutscenes of Black Knight. Sorta like Sonic CD, there's something charming about it, and it gives you something that most games don't have. The cutscenes are very unique in my opinion. Overall, great ending. Alright, for number 3, we have the ending to Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Everyone knows this ending, it's iconic. After Sonic's final battle with Robotnik, he eventually falls from the Death Egg, and he was assumingly going to die until Tails swoops in and saves Sonic from death. And it's absolutely amazing. And I mean, of course it's amazing, it's Sonic 2. I feel like this is a given for every Sonic ending, but the music slaps, the climactic save is forever memorable, and everything about this ending is just perfect. The thing that ties it all together is that it somewhat establishes Tails as a great sidekick for Sonic. Because before Sonic 2, Sonic didn't need anyone. And to be honest, I don't think anyone could actually keep up with Sonic to help him in the first place. But in this game, Tails is able to keep up. And as we see at the end, he's able to be just as heroic as Sonic himself, thus solidifying Tails as a perfect sidekick to Sonic. All of that together makes such a great ending to a great Sonic game. At number 2, we have Sonic Adventure 2. This is probably what most people would consider as the best Sonic ending, and I think that's completely valid. And I will flat out say that, in my opinion, this is probably the definitive ending to a Sonic game. It hits all of the notes, and this is typically what you want to shoot for when making a good ending. There's just one more ending that may not be better, but it simply hits harder for me. And we'll talk about that in a moment. What happens is that Shadow ends up sacrificing himself during his battle with the Bio Lizard. He falls to Earth knowing that his purpose was finally fulfilled. This, coupled with sad music, makes it a bit of a dark ending. But what makes everything so much better is that during the credits, we get to see all of the characters have introspective dialogue. They all talk about themselves and where they landed at the end of the game. Robotnik reflects on his grandfather, Rouge thinks about what she's going to do with her life, and Sonic reflects on what happened with Shadow. There's a lot to break down with this final scene. It has layers on top of layers. It's clear that this game and its story meant a lot to Sonic Team. And I don't know, maybe they believed at the time that this was going to be the final Sonic game. And you know, if that was the case and Sonic was truly coming to an end here, then I would think that it's a satisfying conclusion to the franchise. Overall, I don't think anything will ever top this ending. However, there was another ending that at least means more to me. At our number 1 spot, we have Sonic Unleashed. It's definitely not the best ending, but it's the one that left me thinking the most. After Sonic and Chip's battle with Dark Gaia, Sonic lands back on Earth only to find Chip missing. Turns out that Chip, the friend that Sonic had grown close to, had sealed himself back into the Earth to never return. The final scene shows Sonic looking off into the sunset before running off with endless possibilities playing in the background. Now, while this ending isn't as complex or layered as the Sonic Adventure 2 ending, I still felt much more rewarded by Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed is a long game for Sonic standards, and there's a lot you can do in this game. You travel across the world, engage in side levels, collect medals, and participate in some of the most climactic Sonic storytelling. It's a longer game, and in my opinion, it's an amazingly addicting and fun journey from beginning to end. But I'll never forget my first playthrough because I went into the game expecting it to be mediocre. Something I didn't predict is that I would love the game a lot. It's hard to explain, but when I play Sonic Unleashed, I get that same immersive feeling that you get from a game such as Fallout or Skyrim. It's got the feeling of a massive open-world Bethesda adventure, but with a Sonic spin on it. It was the one time, aside from Sonic Frontiers surprisingly, where I just couldn't drop the controller until the game was completed. So when I reached the end and the credits started rolling, I got that feeling of, wow, that was an amazing game. What do I do now? Listen, all I'm trying to say is that if you complete a game and you're just sitting there and you have no clue on what to do next with your life, that's how you know that it is a good game. Completing this game feels like you just finished a massive project or something and now you gotta find a new purpose. That's Sonic Unleashed for me, and that's why it will always be my favorite Sonic game. There just hasn't been a Sonic game that has ever hit me the same way that Sonic Unleashed did. The game legitimately had me questioning my life. That you don't get many games like that. We need to stop this video right now. When I was scripting this video and editing this video, this was before Sonic Frontiers Update 3 had been released. And obviously with that update, we got a new ending to Sonic Frontiers that, in my opinion, is a better ending. Despite me not liking the update that much, it was a fantastic ending, and I can't even deny that. So, would this video be any different now that Update 3 has been released? Well, actually yes. If I was making this video today, I would put Sonic Frontiers Update 3 at the number 4 spot. Which means yes, I do think this ending deserves to be in the top 5 endings. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe with the bell. And with that said, I love you guys. I'll see you very soon. Peace out. My channel members are Snack Pigeon, Neol, Scully, AHS, Francis, T218, Sonicman7153, Monic, ArcherXYZ, Pie Studios, Bananas, Junion Rings, Chip Chap Chop, The Squeaker Nerd, Super Shax Boom, and Super Saint Sonic. Thank you all for supporting the channel. Make sure to click one of the in-card screen videos here. Love you guys. Peace out.